First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. On 1st and 10, Locke. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Naeem Hines, his first carry. And they're running right through it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Locke. Man open right side, it's Rodgers. 23 yards on the play.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout, but let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Now a toss play, it's Hines. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Here's Luck now on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat. But when he can make a play, that's a big day.
It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Here's Hines on a toss play. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Well, they had the box stacked. That run was going nowhere from the start.
And when you say stacked, you really mean it, don't you? Because when you're talking about a 46 defense, commonly known as the Bear defense, you're covering up the guys inside, and you're allowing other people to get in there close to the line of scrimmage, usually an 8-man front. That's difficult to block for an offense. On that play, the defense won in a big way. No gain at all.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Hey, 58 is down. 58 is down.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, the Colts have added an extra defensive back.
Flooding the passing lanes.
Now Stafford. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And the Colts coming out now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd down, here's Locke. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
12.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Locke. Hard throw, incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Rigoberto Sanchez on to punt. Back deep is Albert Wilson. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15, and the Lions will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start to...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Here's Hines. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Back with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the...
Rolling. Rolling.
They run with Hines. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's got his man Hilton. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let it roll, let it roll.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Gun.
A shotgun snap for Love. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Bullock will put this one through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a play fake it at Stafford. forced out to his left. He'll check this one down to Michel. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there of 22.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. To throw on second down is Stafford. And incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Throwing on third down, Stafford being chased out left. He may try and run for this. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Dancing to his left. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Throwing is locked, eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. On first down, it's locked. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. He's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Chester Rogers, his second touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will win. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford on first down. Screenplay, Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Hey, 54.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Throwing deep for gut. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A nice gain of 21 yards. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
To the air again, Stafford. Out to the right here to Wilson. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to...
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, and a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Here's Locke. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Be right. 12.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Luck now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Love. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Now Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Lock. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Johnson. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deeper. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It's a big play there for the Lions. 47 yards. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Let's go, let's go. Four down.
On second down, here's Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Here we go.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
Hey, take 2. 2 of those 3.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Lions have tied it. If they hit the extra point, they'll have the lead. Prater for the extra point. And that will put them on top here in the 3rd. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away but could not.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the gun, Luck. Throw complete there, Rodgers. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. Now it's Hines. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Luck. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Arnold. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Rolling. Middle.
Back to throw, Luck. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. This is Hines, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back now at Ford Field. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They run again with Hines. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Yeah, he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Talk. Hurry. 11.
They'll try to run with Hines. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, that's Hines. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And Bullock will put this one through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing? And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Set, waiting. 50-50. Let's go.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Back 26. Back 26.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Stafford. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that's incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Let go here. Hey, 51 is down. 51 is down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. Shreds the tackle. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Hey, go down. Set, waiting. No. 53, ready.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Carry on Johnson, 14 yards. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is up to 5. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll fake it. Now Love. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On first down, Love. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 6 there on first. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick. Back to throw. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. And that'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another first down on the pickup of 5 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
They're going to keep it on the ground, and he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up.
The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. They've got to burn the timeout, and they do, but a costly, costly sack. And now maybe just time for one final play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Catch made right side by Wilson. And a timeout comes in. The whistle's blown with 3 seconds remaining. Stafford now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. One last throw here for Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Colts, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win.